Hi, I'm Lloyd from Bumstead Bicycles, and we just received one of Trek's new e-mountain bikes. It's the Rail 7. I'm going to take a few minutes to show you this awesome bike. If you're interested in getting an e-bike for going mountain biking, I would highly suggest you look into this model. They have one model below it, the Rail 5, but I especially like the Rail 7 for the upgrading components that it has. So as always, I always like to talk about Trek's suspension. They have made shocks for this bike that work well on E. They are valved and set up for the e-bike and the added weight that you're going to have on there. But again, highly adjustable. They have what's called a minnow link, so you can, by flipping this little aluminum insert, you can change the angle of the bike and how much travel and height the bottom bracket. Another feature of Trek, they call it their active braking pivot. So the pivot point at the rear is at the axle. The advantage to that is that when you apply the brakes, it doesn't stiffen your rear suspension. It allows your suspension to be active even under braking. Speaking of braking, let's come around this side. On this bike, we're using Shimano disc brakes, 200 millimeter rotors, and a 4-piston brake. What that 4-piston means is more braking power. With the added weight and the speed you're gonna go on full suspension, highly recommended better brakes. I've always, on mountain bikes, somebody comes in asking about upgrades to their mountain bike. If they don't have the best brakes, it's always upgrade your brakes. You can go faster and be safer if you have good quality brakes. Back over again to components. It's 12-speed Shimano XT rear derailleur. Shimano's finally getting into the 12-speed game. You know, SRAM's been doing it for quite a while, but Shimano waited and they've come out with an amazing 12-speed system. Just works flawlessly, easy to adjust. Can't fault them at all on that. On to the E part of it, Trek. So full suspension, they've integrated the battery into the side of the frame. Looks smooth, flawless, you can hardly tell it's there. As a mechanic, what I like, let's see if I can do this pretty simply, is you can easily remove the battery, turn a key, pops right out. And again, as a mechanic, now I have access to all of the cables that run through the frame. Very simple. The battery mounts very stiff, very nice so that you don't get a lot of vibration. You've got to watch that on the e-bikes. If battery placement and mounting isn't done right, you can get some vibration there or some noise. So clean battery mount, it's just awesome. Easy to then access things. This mounting system also allows for a water bottle mount. Some frames, depending on where they put the battery, it kills your mount for a water bottle. So the main drivetrain on this then, come around this side just so you can see the logo. It's made by Bosch, mid-drive, their CX line. It's 250 watts. So what that means is how much power this drives your bike. Some little controversy going on, you know, if you're considering an e-bike right now, you know, a lot of people, it's like more power, gonna give you the power to climb the hills better. The controversy is that these are considered bicycles, not motor vehicles. And, you know, they're starting to limit how much power you can have at some state parks. I know Utah is considering changing legislation and limiting to 250 watts on any of their state mountain bike trails. So something to consider there, that if you buy something with more than 250 watts, you may be limited on where you're going to ride. And it's still being played out, but definitely consideration. Component-wise, the rest of the package is Bontrager tires, rims. It is tubeless compatible. Trek also has they found that their frames can be a lot stiffer if they do a straight down tube. The problem with that is then you run into the issue of the fork could come around and hit the frame. So they've put added padding. They've also done a stem headset combo called a Knox block. You can see it there. Basically, it's a limiter that doesn't let the bike go beyond a certain turning radius so that it doesn't damage the frame. The advantage though is then you get a very stiff, lightweight frame. Front end, RockShox front forks, again, valved and rated for e-bikes. The top crown also reinforced, so it's a e-bike specific fork. Gives you lots of control, very stiff, very adjustable. Just an all-around good bike. Control off on the left side, again, very easy on-off, plus, minus, so you can toggle through. Also has a walking mode, so if there's a section you need to get off, and we used to jokingly call it hike-a-bike or cross-training. So if you've got to get off the bike to get up a certain hill, these bikes aren't so light, you can put it in walking mode and the motor will help you get it up and over that terrain that maybe you weren't confident enough to ride over, or there's just not enough traction and you've got to get off. And hike-a-bike, it does have a walking mode also. So Bosch has just thought of everything on their motors and controllers, and just a all-around great e-bike. If you're considering full suspension mountain e-bike, I would highly suggest you find a Trek dealer in your area, see if they have demo models, or get out there and just buy one and go have some fun. Ideal for this bike riding conditions, anything off-road, from light trails to the most severe riding conditions. This has plenty of travel, definitely anything in the mountains, but it's not something I would consider a street bike by any means. This is a full-blown, go get dirty, muddy, sandy, wet, go hit those mountain bike trails. Again, I'm Lloyd from Bumstead Bicycles. If you're local to Southern California, come see us. If not, go find your local Trek dealer.